Una from Oz here. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. In the last month or so, I've made a couple of paper bag journals, and this one I decorated for myself in a book for my reading journal. So it's book based. And it's got 4 pages either side, and each page either has a side pocket or a top pocket. So here's the side pocket and here's the top pocket. And I make these from paper bags, but I like these paper bags that actually come from the butchers. This is from my local butcher because they're quite big, so they fold in half to make the journal, but they're very strong. They're a little shiny, so sometimes getting glue sticks to adhere doesn't always work. So I tend to use a white glue. But they're very strong, and I thought I'll take you through today quickly to show you how I make the paper bag journal. So we'll start from scratch. So here's my paper bag. And the first thing I do is I just trim off the bottom section so it's open. So I only take a little bit off, that much. So now my paper bag is open both ends. And then I reverse the gusset. And this makes the bag a little bigger. So I just fold it out, and because they are recycled, they do actually have a few wrinkles in them. They're from the butchers, so I make sure they've got no meaty residue because that's pretty awful. So now I've got this rectangular shape with openings either end. So I sort of flatten it out and try and flatten some of the creases. Because they are paper bags, one thin layer is not that sturdy and wouldn't hold up to the robustness of using a journal. So what I then do is I fold it in half, so open end to open end, and this now becomes one of my pages, and I sew it down the middle so I have a journal. So I use a sewing machine to sew. So I either can sew across the top and bottom and get 2 side pockets, or I can sew down the sides and get 2 top pockets, because remember this is going to be folded in half. So here are the ones I've sewn earlier. So this is a side pocket. I've just stitched it either side, and it's now got 4 layers of paper, so it's quite sturdy, and it's got an opening from either side, and of course that becomes the middle. Same for this one, because I'm making 4 for the journal. This is a top pocket, so I've stitched down the sides, and now the opening is on the top. If you're making a top pocket one, which I will do with this one, what you need to do is you need to glue this top bit down. So it's a little raggedy because it is a paper bag. So I try and do it before I sew, but I don't always remember. And I just use a little white glue and I just smear it across. I wouldn't say I'm super generous, but I'm reasonably generous with the glue. And then I just smooth it down and hold it till it holds. So smooth it down. So this stops the top bit, this bit here, from opening when you're putting your item in your pocket. It actually and it makes it more sturdy. So I need to do the other side. So I do the same thing. Bit of glue. I try and get it to the edge, and then I just smooth it down. and remove any excess glue, which I always get everywhere. So I give it a good smooth down, and hopefully that's stuck. So I have tried to do this with a glue stick because this is a little bit shiny. I find the glue stick doesn't hold as well, so that's why I go for just a decent sort of craft glue. Anyway, so, and then I refold it. So now my top edges, that one's not quite stuck, my top edges are sealed. If it doesn't quite seal, it's just really easy to pop it open and squeeze a little more glue in. That's the joys of, no. I have done this after I've sewn it, and it was a lot more difficult, so it is actually easier to do this before you sew. Now, if you don't sew, you could actually just use double-sided tape to hold it together, which would still work, and then you could do your pamphlet stitch when you put it together. So when I put it together, I do alternate sheets. So I will go and sew this one first, and then we'll come and put it together. So I've stitched this last one together, and you can see it's a top pocket. Some paper bags have writing both sides. I put the writing on the inside, so you generally don't see it. But I don't mind if they have writing on this side, because I generally cover them up with paper and embellishments so you don't see them. So I've got 2 top opening ones and 2 side ones. This one's a little bit puffy because it is a bag. So I generally start with, however, I do alternate. So I've got side opening, top opening, side opening, top opening. And what I need to do is I need to fold them, because I need to know my stitch line. So I generally fold them. Where's my bone scorer? Because they are recycled paper bags, they can be a little bit crinkled and a little bit unruly. I get the odd little fold or puffy bit, but you know, that doesn't really worry me, because I generally like handmade things to look handmade. So fold each one of them down. And now I've got pages. So I've got top opening, side opening, top opening, side opening, side opening, top, side opening, top, and I've got a stitch line. Now, if I get stuck with my stitch line and I can't see it, I will get a ruler, and yeah, I get a ruler and a pencil, and I just run a pencil line down the middle so I can see where I'm going. I also put clips on it, so I've got a couple of paper clips here. They can be a little bit annoying to work with because they do like to move, but I tend to paper clip, make sure everything's good. I've got a funny little crease there, so I tend to paper clip, and there's my paper journal. So I'm going to go back and stitch it with the machine, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Now I've stitched it with the machine, and I've followed my line. Again, it's a little crinkly, but you get that. My advice is, when you put your signature together, make sure you have them up the right way and in the running order. Wouldn't be the first time I've made a journal with the top pocket on the bottom, and that's not always necessarily a good thing. Like I said, they are a little bit wrinkly, but I tend to put paper on them. So here it is finished as a plain journal. So I've got top opening, side opening, top opening, side opening, and again the other way. Now, if any of the top openings, if any of those glued bits come apart, I just pop another little bead of glue. There's a little gap there. Pop another little bead of glue, and the reason I like to glue them well is that when you go to put your tags or tickets or whatever you're putting in the pocket, you want to be able to make sure that you don't put it in between the thin layers, you get it in the right spot. Anyway, there's a really, really quick journal on made with paper bag. Now, again, if you don't sew, you could pamphlet stitch that. I highly recommend you hold it with clips. I use bulldog clips or spring clips or the big paper clips. It just makes life a bit easier. And this one's ready to decorate, ready to go. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. Like I said, I did this one in a reading journal. If you go back through my videos, you'll see I did a walkthrough of this one completed. Oh, then I went berserk and added envelopes because I could. So, easy way to use paper bags in your junk journaling. So, if you've got paper bags lying around, have a go, and hopefully you can do something with them like I did. Thanks for watching. See you next time.